It's been confirmed to me that the sets for Starfleet Academy will actually be taken down and put into storage in the new year. And that there may be quite a boring reason why. Or this show is getting cancelled before it even hits our screens, which I think would make some people quite pleased. Welcome to the Tack and Pulse podcast, your place for sci-fi news, rumour and debate.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.
So, Starfleet Academy has not hit our screens yet. And to be honest, I've already heard a few rumours that actually the people over at Paramount aren't particularly happy with this show. And actually, we've questioned from day one whether this show is a good idea. We've actually called it Star Trek 90210 more than once because the, basis of the story here is going to be a bunch of new recruits, young adults running around, which, to be honest, Alex Kurtzman has said more than once that Discovery really found a new demographic. It appealed to a younger audience. So they've ran with that and gone, well, what does a younger audience like? Young people. And yeah, that's what they're doing. I've actually heard some rumours that producers have felt that Helen Hunt isn't particularly good in this. She's a very good actress, but she just doesn't fit this role. And I'm like, well, that's a bit late. You've already, done it. So, yeah, we've got 2 seasons of Starfleet Academy. The second season is currently filming at Pinewood Studios, Toronto. But I have now been told by 2 different sources that in the new year, when filming is finished, it's supposed to be finished by the 31st of January, which I've talked to you guys about before. That is going to be 6 months before this contract ends. And so there's stipulations within the contract that means any filming has to be done by January 31st. So it will be. They were actually trying to get it done by Christmas, but it looks like they're going to overrun slightly. One of these sets, Alex Kurtzman has very proudly said more than once, is the largest set ever created for a Star Trek TV show. One of the reasons why Paramount don't love this show, actually, is not necessarily the quality of the show. It's actually that it's so horrendously expensive. Just to tell you, before I tell you a bit more about why the sets are being took down and why it might not mean the show's actually being cancelled just yet. This show is going to cost around $12 or $13 million an episode, apparently. That may come down a little bit once you factor both seasons, but for the first season, that's what it's costing. The first episode is calculated, it's basically from the build and everything else. The first episode is costing about $25 million to produce. Now, then that cost is spread out over, it will be 20 episodes, but that's a lot of money. I don't know how that's going to appear on the screen, but yeah, considering this is a follow-on from Discovery, and they're actually rejigged some of the Discovery sets for this show, so there shouldn't have been this much expense, but there just was, then yeah, I don't quite know how they spent that much money, but they did. So yeah, Paramount are not happy about it. They actually look at this show and go, how the hell are you spending this much money? I think the new guys at Skydance, to be honest, look at all of the Star Trek under Kurtzman and go, how the hell have you spent that much money? But the sets, as I say, been told by 2 different sources now, they will be took down and they will be put into storage. Now, that is normal for Star Trek. Anything that can be reused will be. There's loads of stories about bridge sets being reused. There's a story about, in TNG, the bottom of the transporter pads was actually the old top of the transporter pads from Star Trek, the original series. If you actually remember the effect from General Chang and his bird of prey being destroyed, that's been used a few times in Star Trek over the years. It was very similar, actually, to the effects from Generations, but they can't have used the same effect for that. But it has been used other times within Star Trek. So, Star Trek has always been pretty good at that. CBS will be putting a lot of those sets into storage, but they will also be dismantling an awful lot. I'm told that actually the big Academy set that's, the biggest set, it's just going to be dismantled. They will be using and saving certain elements of, some of the backgroundy stuff, but on the whole, it's being dismantled. There are 2 reasons, or 2 possibilities for that. One, they have no green light for a 3rd season yet. I am hearing rumours that negotiations for something just started for the future of Star Trek. I'm hoping, actually, I'm speaking to somebody tonight at like in the middle of the night. I got to speak to them like 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm hoping they're going to be able to tell me a little bit more about what's going on. But at the moment, I'm hearing that negotiations for some sort of new deal with Kurtzman, whatever that means for the moment, we could cross our fingers, but something has just started. But there is no green light for a third season of Academy, and at the end of the day, they're not going to leave studio space just sat idle while they decide what to do with Starfleet Academy in the future. So they will take that down, they will put it into storage, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's over. The other reason, though, is they probably won't continue to film at Pinewood. Now, CBS does own studios. Where Strange New Worlds has just finished filming is sets that's owned by CBS. Pinewood, they're having to pay for these sets. So, again, I'm told the very distinct possibility is they'll just take them down and they will move over to CBS studios that they do own. Also, there's elements of these sets that may be used for one, or, we know definitely there's one movie coming, but there's still, in theory, Simon Kingsburg movie as well, that actually some of these sets will be used for those movies, as other sets that are in storage will be as well. So, there may just be an element of some of that stuff being brought down to wherever they're going to film the movie, probably in LA. I am actually told that a lot of those set stuffs won't be kept in Canada. They will be moved down to storage facilities in Los Angeles. So, again, I don't know if that means anything in particular or if it's just where they have the biggest storage facilities. The other possibility, though, is this show is cancelled and they know it. Now, I've been telling you guys for a while, the way Secret Hideout are behaving does suggest that this deal isn't going to happen. The fact that we've only got 6 episodes of Strange New Worlds, the fact that we've got basically no announcement on any new shows being produced or being greenlit, even though we know Secret Hideout has been pitching lots of ideas. For example, Star Trek Year 1, they are trying to get that done. And bloody Alex Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsman stood up on stage and basically begged fans to sort of like write to Paramount and ask for them to make this show like they did with Strange New Worlds, even though that was... Strange New Worlds was always happening. It really frustrates me that people think that they listened to the fans. They didn't. They just wanted to build up a bit of hype, and they made out then that, look, we listen to the fans, because they know that the fans are divided about a lot of Star Trek. So this way they got to like make out that they were, doing us a favour when they weren't. But anyway, Akiva Goldsman stood up there and begged for Star Trek Year 1. I don't know if any fans ever did write in to Paramount, but I hope you didn't. I really have. I am concerned about Starfleet Academy. I am. I will watch it. I pray to like it. I so want to like it. I get people accusing me all the time of being, oh, you're so against Star Trek. I'm not. I love good Star Trek. I've just not loved everything that Kurtzman has done. I do have worries about Academy, but I really have worries about Star Trek Year 1. What am I hearing about Academy, and which one of these two scenarios do I actually think is true? I think that there is no decision on Starfleet Academy. I think a decision will be made after the first season drops. I think the deal that they're negotiating with Kurtzman, or just starting to negotiate with Kurtzman at the moment, is probably for some exclusivity deal that won't be necessarily Star Trek, which is actually the deal Kurtzman first signed with Paramount before it got extended and then became just basically a Star Trek deal. I think that would allow Paramount bosses to actually greenlight a third season of Starfleet Academy if they want to. Or if, say, they want to do that Tawny Newsome work-placed comedy that she wants to do, they could. But also, Kurtzman can pitch other ideas to Paramount. But the important thing there is Paramount can do other things with Star Trek if it wants to. My personal opinion is all the evidence currently that we have points to no new deal. And to be honest, the way Kurtzman is behaving suggests he knows it. But we're still waiting for that confirmation. So guys, get into the comments, tell me what you think. It's more confirmation again that the studio space is being took down and is going to be used for other things. Is that just a money-saving thing while they decide what to do with it, or is it a bigger sign? Get into the comments and tell me exactly what you think. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. It really helps us out and you'll never miss any of our new videos. Also, you can become a member of the channel and get to see a lot of these videos before everybody else. Go check it out. I've just noticed that the iPad I'm recording this on is slightly wonky. Let's hope that doesn't ruin the video. As always, please stay safe. I'll see you next time.
Our tachyon pulse has been unable to completely penetrate the anomaly.